repacking a Graco 3900 line striping pump. We'll start off by removing the packing nut, set it to the side. Then we can disassemble the intake valve. Be careful when you pull this off. There's a few small pieces inside here. So way down inside there's going to be a white nylon gasket. Probably can't see it here, but it does exist. And then you're going to have this spacer. You're going to have the lower ball. It's the larger of the two balls in this pump. And then you'll have this gizmo. From there, we can hammer out the piston. Gently tap it out. You'll want to inspect this for any type of wear on the shaft. Here's this shaft here, this cylinder. Sometimes it will come out when you pull the piston out. If it doesn't, you can simply get a flathead screwdriver and very gently get the head of the screwdriver inside that groove and you can pry it out. You'll want to inspect the inside of the cylinder for any type of wear. Might be gouged. Set that aside. There is another O-ring inside here. You'll want to make sure that you remove that. And then up top you have the upper packings. So we can go ahead and remove that. Now what I suggest is when you disassemble this, put all of the packings, keep them in order so that you can go back and refer to them. So you'll see they sit in here from bottom to top. It's going to be the male gland, plastic, leather, plastic, leather, plastic, and the female gland. So it'll sit, that will drop in just like so. Okay, so next we can take off the piston valve. Now be careful when you pull this out. This is where that second ball is, and this is the littler ball. You get a new one with the rebuild kit, but okay, so there's the small ball. That's the upper ball. And then you can take the packings off it. Okay, you'll have two washers here, a metal washer and then a plastic washer with a groove. And that's it. You'll get it dismantled from here. Again, you want to pretty much check everything for any type of unusual wear. If you do, then you're going to want to look at replacing that as well. So before actually repacking this, what you want to do, and what I've already done, is the leather packings you want to soak in motor oil for at least 1 hour. You don't really want to put those on dry. Here was my motor oil, just had them soaking in there. Yeah, you want to let those soak for about an hour. So now the rebuild. You can start at the bottom. You can start down here at the intake valve, clean all that out. Again, there's an O-ring, a white nylon O-ring at the bottom. Pull that out. You want to set the new one inside. Then you're going to put your spacer in. Make sure it's sitting flush down there. Then you have the large ball, lower ball. Drop it in, and then this cage, just like so. When that's all together and working, you should hear that ball move around. There should be play. That allows the pump to actually engage properly. If you're ever having an issue where maybe the pump isn't able to pump and build pressure, a lot of times it's this check ball down here that gets clogged. Might be some hardened paint or gunked up down there, and the ball's not able to move freely. So now that that's all together, we'll set it aside. Next, we can get the lower packings on for the piston. Remember, small check ball in. You're going to start with the metal washer, the plastic washer. Pay special attention. You have a flat side and a grooved side. The groove has to go down so it's flat on the top. You want that flat side up top. Okay. Now, this is how the piston is going to sit, straight up and down. When you put this together, you're going to start with the female side. The female side's going to be the bottom. Then it's going to go plastic, leather, plastic, leather, plastic. Just like so. The male is just going to fit right inside. Just like so. Then don't forget the ball. Ball has to be in here. If you don't have the ball, you're not going to pump. Carefully slide the packings on to the piston. One other thing, red Loctite is a good idea to put on here. And this will be torqued down to 27 inch pounds. Okay, so that's your lower packing. And you'll hear the ball. Ball's got to be moving in there. You got to have a ball. Okay, so intake valve, lower packings. Inside here, remember, there's a white nylon gasket. Pull it out. Set the new one in very carefully. On the piston sleeve, remove this nylon gasket, replace it with a new one. Nothing goes on this groove. That stays open. And you can kind of see this notch around the top here. That's where that gasket inside there kind of meet. Okay, so very important here. When you put the piston inside the sleeve, you must go bottom to top. Don't try to force this in top to bottom. This is beveled in such a way that you want to insert it bottom to top. Might need a little bit of force, get it in there. So now you have your unit. We can then build the upper packing kit. So this is going to go just like so. You're going to have your mail, then you're going to have your plastic, leather, plastic, leather, plastic, female, flat side on top, just like so. You're going to want to drop these in very carefully, just like so. Okay. Take our cylinder, carefully go, well, it is easier if you put your packing nut on top. It'll keep that upper packing kit from moving. Just loosely put it on there, and then we'll go bottom, right through, and then you can see where it's going to stop here. It's going to stop basically right at that groove. So that's seated in. Okay, give a little press. It's in. You heard it snap in. We can then put our intake valve on, gasket here, change it out, put the new one on. Tighten it down. Okay, and in your packing nut, you want to tighten that down. You don't want to over tighten it. You'll know if you over tighten it. If it's too tight, the gasket will be squashed, and you might not be able to spin this back on or off. But that's it. That's your rebuild. When you put it in, you're going to want basically want this fitting and this the pin basically in line with each other. That's it. Simple enough. Thanks for watching.